En las noches de silencio, cuando el mundo se detiene, hay un lugar donde viven las historias que conmueven. Manuel Alejandro cuenta vidas que el tiempo sostiene, cantantes que dejaron huella en cada nota que viene, y en cada relato encuentro un pedazo.
Muy buenos días, amigos, yo soy Manuel Alejandro en su canal, nuevo canal Manuel Alejandro en experiencias con la juventud. Gracias por las suscripciones, estamos recién comenzando, así que amigos, los invoco a unirse a este canal, suscribiéndose, dejando su like y sus comentarios. Este canal está dedicado exclusivamente para que podamos deleitar con nuestras historias a nuestra juventud. Por ejemplo, el día de hoy le traigo una historia muy interesante sobre este gran grupo coreano cuyo nombre es SEVENTEEN. Así que vamos a comenzar. Como un grupo de 13 chicos salvó a su empresa de la bancarrota y se convirtió en el grupo con el álbum más vendido en la historia del K-pop. Hoy vamos a recorrer el camino de SEVENTEEN, desde las promesas vacías y los retrasos hasta el reconocimiento global. Bueno, bienvenidos al canal Manuel Alejandro en experiencias con la juventud. Prepárate porque esta es la historia del esfuerzo, hermandad y el poder de hacerse a sí mismo. Así que amigos, les traigo las historias y algunas novedades también que incluyen nominaciones históricas para el K-pop en los premios Oscar 2026 con la película Las guerreras del K-pop, y en los Grammy 2026 para los artistas como Rosé y el grupo Canciones, marcando un hito cultural, mientras que BTS sigue relevante y artistas como Jungkook ganan premios importantes, consolidándose su impacto global y la expansión de la cultura coreana, incluso con toques latinos en el baile. Así que vamos con la historia de este grupo coreano SEVENTEEN. Nos vemos en el siguiente video.
En 2012, Pledis lanzó un comunicado en el que daba a conocer sus planes de debutar a un nuevo grupo de chicos, el cual no solo promocionaría en Corea, sino que también en China y Japón. Antes del debut de SEVENTEEN, los chicos ya habían aparecido en MVs de la agencia, los cuales son Nuist con Face, Hello Venus con Venus, AS Blue con Wonder Boy y Orange Caramel con My Copycat. De igual manera han sido bailarines en varias presentaciones, como A Midsummer's Night Sweetness de Sun-yi junto a Reina y You and Me de Reina. Salida de Do-yoon y Ming Ming, entrada de D8. Durante la última temporada de SEVENTEEN TV, los chicos se encontraban practicando para hacer otra audición que confirmaría su permanencia como premiembros de SEVENTEEN. Un mes después de que Pledis confirmara el día de la última audición, se publicó en la página oficial el perfil de los premiembros. En dichos perfiles no estaban ni Do-yoon ni Min-min, lo que confirmaba su salida del grupo. En esos premiembros estaba el perfil de D8, que al parecer audicionó quedando como premiembro. Su primera aparición como miembro fue en el 17 Concert, mostrando sus habilidades como B-boy. Firma con Brand New Music y confirmación de su debut. Pledis firmó un acuerdo con la empresa Brand New para apoyo en producción musical. Ambas ahora son empresas unidas y actualmente Brand New trabaja en el álbum debut de 17. Ya se han lanzado 2 colaboraciones entre estas empresas. La primera, el éxito de Sun-yi y Reina, y la segunda de Canto junto a Reina. Después de una larga espera, Pledis anuncia la fecha del debut oficial de 17, la cual sería finalmente el 26 de mayo a través de un showcase transmitido en vivo. Con el fin de despertar el interés del público, participan en su propio reality show llamado 17 Project Debut Big Plan, transmitido por la cadena NBC Music desde el 2 al 23 de mayo. 2015. Debut con su primer mini-álbum 17 Carat. En el primer showcase de 17, se reveló el teaser de su MV debut, el cual contendrá una nueva canción original de 17. Al parecer tendremos la suerte de disfrutar de 2 MVs, uno correspondiente a su canción Shining Diamond y otro para su canción promocional Adore You. El 21 de mayo revelaron que el lanzamiento de su primer mini-álbum se llevará a cabo el 29 de mayo y el video musical para Adore You se darán a conocer en línea el 29 de mayo a la medianoche. Sobre el resto de su mini-álbum, 20 es una canción de amor, IA es una canción de estilo hip hop y Jam Jam es una canción de baile. El 29 de mayo el grupo reveló el video musical para Adore You. El video musical llama especialmente la atención por su concepto único, con diferentes entornos como el desierto, una nave espacial, la selva y más. Su poderosa energía y encantos individuales destacan durante todo el video. Su álbum 17 Carat consiguió obtener el 9º lugar en la lista de álbumes del mundo del Billboard a una sola semana desde su debut. Su video musical, que fue revelado el 29 de junio, alcanzó 900,000 visitas solo una semana después de su lanzamiento. Su debut oficial en un programa de música fue el 27 de mayo en Show Champion de la NBC.
Regreso con su segundo mini-álbum, Boys B. El 31 de agosto, 17 comenzó liberando teasers para su segundo mini-álbum, Boys B, en sus redes sociales oficiales. El grupo reveló varias imágenes teaser grupales con el concepto de día y noche. Este segundo mini-álbum fue lanzado el 10 de septiembre junto con el video musical de su canción Manse. Su segundo mini-álbum estará disponible en 2 versiones tituladas Hide y Seek. El mini-álbum contendrá 5 canciones, incluyendo Controlling Facial Expressions, When I Become an Adult, OMG, Rock y el tema principal, Manse. Los miembros Woozi, S-Cops, Wonwoo, Mingyu y Vernon participaron en la redacción y producción de canciones del álbum Manse, una mezcla enérgica de funk, hip hop y pop. Manse ha sido compuesta por los miembros del grupo Woozi, S-Cops, Wonwoo, Mingyu y Vernon, y el cantautor Kye Bum-soo. Las letras son escritas por Woozi y Kye Bum-soo, con arreglos hechos por este último. La letra describe los sentimientos de un chico que está enamorado y está tratando de llamar la atención de una chica. Las ventas de preorden para los muchachos superaron las 30,000 copias del álbum antes de que fuera lanzado. El álbum debutó el número 1 en la lista Billboard's World Albums Chart. En solo 3 meses, el álbum consiguió vender más de 100,000 copias, colocándose en el top 10 de los artistas que más vendieron en 2015. Primer concierto, Like 17, Boy Wish. 17 anunció recientemente que a menos de un año de su debut oficial, celebraría su primer concierto. El evento denominado Like 17, Boy Wish se llevará a cabo del 24 al 26 de diciembre en la Sala de Arte de Yongsan de Seúl. El 24 de noviembre, Pledis Entertainment puso a la venta las entradas a estos conciertos a través del sitio oficial de Interpark a las 8 p.m. tiempo de Corea. Un minuto después, todas las entradas se vendieron en su totalidad. Single proyecto Q&A. El 29 de diciembre, el grupo reveló una imagen teaser anunciando que Hailey formará equipo con 3 integrantes de Seventeen para un próximo sencillo digital. El proyecto titulado Q&A contiene la participación de Hailey al lado de Vernon, Woozy y S-Caps y está programado para ser lanzado a las 12 p.m. KST el 4 de diciembre. Se reveló que Woozy compuso y escribió la canción mucho antes del debut del grupo. La canción es una canción pop ligera que describe el amor juvenil como una ecuación o un juego de palabras Q y A. El 4 de diciembre, el grupo lanzó su colaboración a los minutos de ser revelada. La canción rápidamente ascendió en todas las listas musicales como Melon, Mnet, Ole Music, Bugs, Soribada, Monkey 3, Naver Music, Cyworld Music y Down Music. Un representante del grupo aseguró que el grupo colaborará con varios artistas y con diferentes miembros de sus subunidades para ofrecer buena música a todos los oyentes. A pesar de la gran acogida de la canción, el grupo no promocionó la canción en ningún programa de televisión. La canción se mantuvo durante 2 semanas consecutivas en el top 10 de todas las listas musicales. Concierto encore Like 17 Boy Wish. Seventeen ofreció sus últimos conciertos después de un exitoso debut y de su primer concierto a pesar de ser novatos. La agencia del grupo Pledis Entertainment declaró: la venta de entradas para el concierto encore Like 17 Boy Wish de Seventeen se llevó a cabo a través de Interpark. Tan pronto como se abrió la venta, sus nombres se posicionaron en lo más alto de las búsquedas en línea y los 7,000 asientos fueron todos ocupados en 5 minutos. Seventeen dijo: a pesar de que hemos recibido reconocimiento a través de nuestro primer concierto, decidimos celebrar un concierto encore porque queríamos ser uno con la audiencia y llenar la habitación con nuestras canciones y presentaciones una vez más. Queremos darle a nuestros fans el regalo de una presentación tan dulce como el chocolate, mostrando nuestros charmes. A través del concierto, igualaremos el latido de nuestros corazones con los de la audiencia, así que espérenlo con ansiedad. Segundo single proyecto, Chocolate. El 12 de febrero, la unidad vocal lanzó Chocolate, siendo reclutados por John Shin para otro de sus famosos proyectos musicales. Los miembros de Seventeen, Jonghan, Joshua, Woozy, DK y Seungkwan prestan sus voces para la pista mensual de Jong Shin para este mes. La canción es titulada Chocolate, que ha sido lanzado el 12 de febrero a medianoche KST. La canción es la pista perfecta para el día de San Valentín, ya que los chicos con timidez confiesan su amor por una chica de su clase y tratan de cortejarla con chocolates en el video musical. Jong Shin también protagoniza el video como su maestro. La canción se colocó en el top 10 de las principales listas musicales como Melon, Mnet, Ole Music, Bugs, Soribada, Monkey 3, Naver Music, Cyworld Music y Down Music. La canción se mantuvo a una semana en el top 10 en todas las listas musicales.
A fines de marzo, Pledis confirmó que Seventeen realizaría su regreso con su primer álbum completo en abril. El grupo está terminando los preparativos para este nuevo regreso. El 11 de abril, el grupo lanzó una serie de imágenes en su Instagram oficial. Cuando unimos las imágenes se puede ver una botella flotando en el mar. También se confirmó que el grupo estaría realizando su regreso el 25 de abril con su primer álbum completo. Su primer álbum, Love and Letter, ha alcanzado, según fuentes oficiales, asombrosas cifras consiguiendo vender 150,000 copias solo en preventas, un logro ciertamente impresionante para el grupo, que todavía no cumple el primer año desde su debut. Sin haber debutado en Japón, su álbum se posicionó en el hashtag 1 en Tower Records. El álbum Love and Letter ocupó el puesto número 2 en los World Albums Charts de Billboard. De acuerdo a la lista musical Janteo, el álbum de Seventeen, Love and Letter, el cual fue lanzado el 25 de abril, vendió un gran número de álbumes para la semana del 25 de abril al 1 de mayo. Love and Letter es el primer álbum completo de Seventeen desde su debut el año pasado y viene en 2 versiones. La versión Love ha vendido 39.849 copias, mientras que la versión Letter ha vendido 40.436 copias. En total, el álbum ha vendido 80.285 copias en la primera semana de su lanzamiento. La creciente popularidad de Seventeen anteriormente ha sido probada, luego de vender 150.000 copias de su álbum en la preorden. El día después del lanzamiento de su álbum, se ha posicionado dentro de los 20 mejores en la lista principal de iTunes en 15 países. Regreso tercer mini álbum. El 10 de abril se reportó que Seventeen lanzaría otro mini álbum en la segunda mitad del año. Primer Asia Tour, Shining Diamonds. Se confirmó que a partir de agosto, Seventeen tendrá 9 conciertos y estos estarán organizados por Three Angles Productions.
SVT is a South Korean boy band formed by Pledis Entertainment. The group consists of 13 members: S. Coops, Jen Han, Joshua, June, Hoshi, Won Woo, Woozy, DK, Ming Yu, The Eight, Seng Kwan, Vernon, and Dino. Seventeen is considered a self-producing idol group, with the members involved in songwriting, music production, and choreographing, among other aspects of their music and performances. The group debuted on May 26, 2015, with the extended play EP 17 Carat, which became the longest-charting K-pop album of the year in the U.S. and the only rookie album to appear on Billboard's 10 Best K-pop Albums of 2015. The group's 2023 EPs FML and 17th Heaven both set records for the best-sold albums in history, with FML becoming the best-selling album of 2023, according to the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry. Both records earned the group the MAMA Award for Album of the Year in the 2023 and 2024 ceremonies, respectively. They perform as one group and are divided into 3 units: hip-hop, vocal, and performance, each with a different area of specialization, and have also produced 5 sub-units: BSS, JXW, HXW, CXM, and DXS. Throughout their career, they have collectively received renown for their concert tours and other live performances, to the extent of being labeled Performance Kings, K-pop Performance Powerhouse, and Kings of Synchronization by domestic and international media outlets. The name 17 is derived from the expression 13 members plus 3 teams plus 1 group, representing how the 13 members are divided into 3 different teams and come together to form one cohesive group. The name originally referred to how 17 members, with the other 4 former pre-debut trainees, Jang Do-yoon, Samuel Kim, Shin Dong-jin, and Yao Mingming, planned to debut. It is often abbreviated to SVT by the group in marketing and events and by local and international media, stemming from the first consonants in each syllable of the word. The official name of 17's fan club is Carat, Korean Kerat, as announced at a concert on February 14, 2016. Named after the measurement unit for diamonds, it is a reference to their debut EP, 17 Carat, and its opening song, Shining Diamond. 17 has a global fan club hosted via Weverse and a Japan-specific fan club.
Since 2013, 17 appeared in regular live broadcasts of a series called 17 TV on the online streaming platform Ustream. The show aired for multiple seasons, in which trainees were introduced and shown practicing for performances, with some seasons culminating with Like 17 concerts. Immediately prior to their debut, 17 appeared in the reality television show 17 Project Big Debut Plan on NBC from May 2nd to 26th, 2015, which detailed the group's final preparations. 17 performing at the 2015 Summer K-pop Festival at the Seoul Plaza. 17's official debut came at the end of 17 Project Big Debut Plan, with a live showcase televised by NBC on May 26th, with label mates Lizzie and Reina serving as MCs. 3 days later, 17's first extended play, EP, 17 Carat, was released digitally. 17 Carat became the longest-charting K-pop album of the year in the U.S. and was the only rookie album to appear on Billboard's 10 Best K-pop Albums of 2015 list. On September 10th, 17 released their second EP, Boys B, which later became the highest-selling rookie album of the year. The EP's success earned the group awards at the Golden Disc Awards, Seoul Music Awards, and Gaon Chart K-pop Awards. 17 became the only K-pop group on Billboard's 21 Under 21 2015 Music's Hottest Young Stars list. 17 held a 4-show concert series in Seoul titled Like 17 Boys Wish from December 24th to 26th as a year-end celebration. After the concert's success, the group held 2 encore concerts in the following February. 17's first studio album, Love and Letter, was released on April 25, 2016. In addition to success on domestic charts, the album charted on the Oricon Weekly Pop Album chart in Japan. 17 received their first win on a domestic music show with the album's lead single, Pretty You. Love and Letter was later re-released on July 4th with the lead single, Very Nice. Promotions were immediately followed by their first concert tour, which included venues in South Korea, Japan, Singapore, Indonesia, and Australia. On December 5th, the group released their third EP, Going 17, with lead single, Boom Boom. 17 embarked on the Say the Name 17 tour in Japan between February 15th and 24th, 2017. The shows attracted 50,000 spectators despite the group not having officially debuted in the country. On April 1st, 17 filmed a second season of the show, One Fine Day, detailing their stay in Japan. The second season was titled One Fine Day in Japan and created in collaboration between South Korean broadcaster MBC and Japanese network Music On. 17's fourth EP, AL1, was released on May 22, 2017. It peaked at number 1 in South Korea and sold over 330,000 copies by the end of the year. The lead single, Don't Wanna Cry, became one of the group's most popular tracks, with its music video becoming 17's first to reach 200 million views on YouTube. Later, a series of videos titled 2017 17 Project and 3 music videos subtitled Chapter 0.5 before AL1 were uploaded to the platform. The group completed the Diamond Edge Tour on October 6th, which visited 13 cities across Asia and North America. On November 6th, the group released their second studio album, Teenage. 17 released a repackage of Teenage on February 5th, 2018, titled Director's Cut, featuring lead single, Thanks. 5 days later, Time magazine included 17 on their list of the 6 best K-pop groups to know.
17 officially debuted in Japan on May 30th with their first Japanese EP, We Make You. They released their 5th Korean EP, You Make My Day, on July 16th with the lead single, Oh My. The EP became the group's first to be certified platinum domestically. Promotions for the album took place in between the Ideal Cut tour concerts in Seoul and the tour concerts in other countries. Seventeen released their sixth EP, You Made My Dawn, on January 21st, 2019. The lead single, Home, won 10 trophies on weekly music shows, including at least one win on each program. On May 29th, Seventeen released their first Japanese single album, Happy Ending, which peaked at #1 on the Oricon Daily Singles Chart and was certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of Japan. On June 24th, Seventeen announced the Ode to You World Tour with stops in Asia, North America, and Europe, although the last leg of the tour was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Seventeen released the digital single Hit on August 5th, ahead of their third studio album, An Ode, on September 16th. The album sold 700,000 copies in its first week and won the group their first day song or grand prize for Album of the Year. It was also named the Best K-pop Album of the Year by Billboard. On April 1st, 2020, Seventeen released their second Japanese single, Falling Flower, which debuted atop on the Oricon Daily Singles Chart and sold more than 400,000 copies in its first week, securing first place on the Billboard Japan Hot 100 chart. On May 13th, Seventeen released the first installment of Hit the Road, a documentary series on their YouTube channel following the group behind the scenes of their Ode to You tour. Seventeen performing a chant for Ready to Love in 2021. On April 22nd, Seventeen released their seventh EP, Hangare. It sold 1 million copies in under 1 week, making Seventeen official million sellers and earning them certifications from both the Hanteo and Gaon charts. It charted at #1 on the Oricon Weekly Album Chart for a second week, making Seventeen the first international male artist to do so since the Backstreet Boys over 12 years ago. On September 9th, Seventeen released their second Japanese EP, 24H, becoming the third group ever to reach #1 on the Oricon Weekly Album Chart with 4 consecutive albums, a feat last achieved in 1977 by Scottish pop rock band Bay City Rollers. 24H was later certified platinum by the RIAJ for selling over 250,000 copies. On October 19th, Seventeen released their 10th EP, Semicolon, marketed as a special album with lead single Home/Run. To promote the single, the group made their U.S. television debut with a performance of Home/Run on CBS's Late Late Show with James Corden. On April 21st, 2021, Seventeen released their third Japanese single, Not Alone. On May 15th, the song was certified double platinum by the RIAJ for selling over 500,000 copies. On May 15th, they announced their Power of Love project, as well as the release of their 9th EP, Your Choice, through a concept trailer video. At the same time, they signed with Geffen Records and Universal Music Group for U.S. and international distribution of their music. For the first phase of the Power of Love project, Seventeen released a digital single performed by Wonwoo and Mingyu titled Bitsuite and featuring Lee Hee on May 28th. Your Choice was released on June 18th alongside lead single Ready to Love. On July 19th, Pledis Entertainment announced that all members of Seventeen had renewed their contracts. On October 22nd, Seventeen released their 8th EP, Ataka, with lead single Rock With You. Ataka sold 2 million copies, making it the group's first double million selling album. On December 8th, Seventeen marked the end of their Power of Love project by releasing a Japanese single of the same name. On April 15th, 2022, Seventeen released an English-language digital single titled Darling, ahead of their 4th studio album, Face the Sun. The album was released on May 27th with the lead single Hot. They also released their first film, 17 Power of Love the Movie, in worldwide theaters on April 20th and 23rd, excluding France and Japan, where it was released on April 21st and 29th. Seventeen performing in Seoul during the Be the Sun tour in June 2022. On May 7th and 8th, Seventeen held their Japanese fan meeting, Hanabi, at Saitama Super Arena, their first offline performance in the country in 2.5 years. In the same month, Pledis Entertainment announced the Be the Sun World Tour, Seventeen's third world tour and their first tour after COVID-19.
The tour started with performances at the Goshek Sky Dome in Seoul in June, before continuing to a North American leg, consisting of 12 shows in arenas across the US and Canada from August 10th to September 6th. Additional shows in Jakarta, Bangkok, Manila, and Singapore were held from September 24th to October 13th. And the Japan leg for the Be the Sun tour was confirmed in June 2022. The group performed 6 shows in domes across Japan, including Kyocera Dome, Tokyo Dome, and Vantalen Dome in Nagoya, in Aichi.
On July 18, 2022, 17 released the repackaged version of their 4th studio album, Sector 17, along with its lead single, World. A remixed version of the song featuring English singer Anne Marie was later released on August 26th. On November 9th, 17 released their 3rd Japanese EP, Dream. The next month, the group made their first appearance at an American festival, performing on the LA 3C Festival's main stage at Los Angeles State Historic Park on December 10th. 2 final shows were held for the Be the Sun tour in Asia, December 17th at Philippine Arena and December 28th at Gelora Bung Karno Madya Stadium, making 17 the first K-pop acts to hold their own concerts in the venues. On April 24, 2023, 17 released their 11th Korean EP, FML. The EP recorded 4.6 million pre-orders and became the best-selling album in history, with 3.9 million first-day sales and 4.5 million first-week sales. The EP included 2 lead singles, Super and F My Life. The group later re-released 8 of their previous out-of-print albums on June 16th. On July 21st and 22nd, 17 held a 2-day concert at the Goshek Sky Dome to begin the Follow Tour. The tour went on to 5 cities across Japan and later expanded to Bangkok, Bulacan, and Macau. Alongside the Japanese Dome Tour, 17 released a Japanese-language best-of album titled Always Yours on August 23rd. The group began promotions for their 12th EP, 17th Heaven, later released on October 23rd, by announcing a street pop-up event called 17 Street in Seoul. The EP had over 5.2 million pre-orders, making it the most pre-ordered K-pop album in history. Upon its release, the EP's lead single, God of Music, debuted at number 1 on South Korea's Circle Digital Chart for the week of October 22nd to 28th, 2023, becoming 17's first song to top the chart. On November 29th, the group earned its first Mama Awards Day Song for Album of the Year. 17 performing Maestro at Glastonbury Festival in June 2024. On January 6, 2024, 17 won 3 major awards in the Golden Disc Awards. On January 13th and 14th of the same year, 17 became the first K-pop group to perform a concert at the Philippine Sports Stadium in Bulacan, Philippines. From March to May, the group held the encore leg of their Follow Tour, with performances at stadia in Incheon and Seoul, South Korea, and Osaka and Yokohama, Japan. The group released a compilation album titled 17 is Right Here, featuring their Korean-language singles to date, on April 29th, supported by the new single, Maestro. 17 performed on the Pyramid stage at Glastonbury Festival 2024, becoming the first K-pop act in history to appear at the festival on June 28th. Their set was well received by attendees and critics, such as NME, who rated the performance 5 stars, commenting that what starts as an introduction to a group largely unfamiliar to the crowd ends in giddy jubilation, with the previously uninitiated leaving the field swept up by the boundless energy pouring off the stage. On July 24, 2024, 17 announced the Right Here World Tour, which began in October 2024 in Seoul.
On August 12th, Pledis announced that Junghan would enlist in the South Korean military on September 26th, ahead of the release of the group's forthcoming EP in October, and that Jun would be taking a break from group activities in South Korea in favor of acting work in China, ahead of the group's scheduled performance at Lollapalooza, Berlin on September 8th. 17 performed on the festival's main stage, becoming the first K-pop act to headline the German edition of the festival. Their set was well received by fans and critics, such as NME, who rated the performance 5 stars, commenting that what starts as an introduction to a group largely unfamiliar to the crowd ends in giddy jubilation, with the previously uninitiated leaving the field swept up by the boundless energy pouring off the stage. On July 24, 2024, 17 announced the Right Here World Tour, which began in October 2024 in Seoul. On August 12th, Pledis announced that Junghan would enlist in the South Korean military on September 26th, ahead of the release of the group's forthcoming EP in October, and that Jun would be taking a break from group activities in South Korea in favor of acting work in China, ahead of the group's scheduled performance at Lollapalooza, Berlin on September 8th. 17 performed on the festival's main stage, becoming the first K-pop act to headline the German edition of the festival. Their set was well received by fans and critics, such as NME, who rated the performance 5 stars, commenting that what starts as an introduction to a group largely unfamiliar to the crowd ends in giddy jubilation, with the previously uninitiated leaving the field swept up by the boundless energy pouring off the stage. On July 24, 2024, 17 announced the Right Here World Tour, which began in October.